Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to today's video. As the title shows, we're going to be doing some plant chores together. My babies, my plants are in desperate need of my attention. Yeah, they need me, and I need to be a good plant mom and take care of them or else they will die. And I don't want them to die. I love my plants. I really don't want them to die. We have some fertilizing to do. We have some repotting to do, and I'm just pretty excited about everything because we have a couple of things we need to do, and I'm excited to do it with you guys. If you're interested in doing some plant chores with me, welcome aboard. But before we go on, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love for you all to subscribe to my channel and join the Deola Adebiyi family here on YouTube. And also do not forget to click on the notification bell so that you will always get notifications of whenever I upload a new video. So I have my chores written down right here because we have a lot to do, and if I don't write it down, I'm gonna forget. The first thing I need to do is water and fertilize my plants. Most of my plants live in water because I am scared of killing them. I killed a couple of my earlier plants because number one, I didn't really have good soil. Number two, I was overwatering them. This guy, who if you recognize from my old vlog, was legit on the brink of death, has been living in this water bottle thingy that I just, did. And now, as you can see, it is flourishing. So I'm going to replace the water and add fertilizer to the plants that are going to still be in water, because these plants are here, not all of them are still going to be in water. They have to graduate to soil. And that's the next thing I need to do: pot the pothos and the monstera. So I have three main plants. I have this guy who I have forgotten his name all of a sudden. Like, I'll just put the name here. I have a couple of monstera pinnatas. As you can see, this guy has these long nodes. These are actually roots, aerial nodes. I can actually cut them, like cut here, cut there, and put it inside water, and it will grow into roots. That's actually how I've been growing these plants. I got a cutting of one monstera pinata. I cut it up into little pieces, and now I have about 4-5 of them in my house now. This pothos was really small when I started out, but now it's growing. Look at this guy. This guy is longer than that. Look at them. Look at them. I need to pot the monstera, and I also need to pot the pothos because they're getting too big, too long for where they sit right now. So I'm going to put them in pots and stick them outside. I actually want the outside area to have way more plants than it does right now. I'll take you guys outside so you guys can see those plants, and I'll also show you guys the indoor plants I have right now before we start our chores. And then last but not the least, propagate spinach and basil. I have a couple of herbs. I have 2 types of spinach. I have basil. I do need to propagate the spinach, and I do need to propagate the basil because they're growing. And the thing about herb plants is that if you don't actually cut them, if you don't actually use them, they will start growing in a weird way. It's like they're telling you, cut me, use me. The more you actually cut and prune some of these herb veggie plants, the more they actually grow. That means a couple of people in my life are going to get spinach plants and they're going to get basil plants. That's the joy of owning plants, of owning veggies. You can share them with a friend, and it's such a great feeling knowing that I can share my love of plants with my friends. So these are my indoor plants, not counting that aloe vera that looks like it's falling apart. So I have a couple of pothos. Those are my longest pothos. There's like a couple of more hidden in there. This is another pinata cutting. This one sits in my bedroom. This is my, God, I can't remember the name of this plant. Wow, but the name will be on screen. This is another pothos. There's another pinata. This is a pothos, a pinata. There are 2 of them actually down back there. And then this is the big pinata. As you can see, I really need to put it in soil because it's actually falling, so I need to stake it. Welcome to my outside herb garden. The one in the white pot over there, I have forgotten her name, but I'll put it on the screen. Next to it is a particular type of spinach. It's either Malabar or Brazilian spinach. I don't remember the name. Then I have basil. I've had this basil for quite some time. This is actually a propagation that survived. My other basil plants didn't survive. So I need to propagate from this basil. Then I have my parsley over there. It's growing. I don't have to do anything with it. And then I have these 2 babies right here. This is spinach. So I propagated this one from that one. And as you can see, this one has already grown long. It's already growing everything. This one is also growing long. It is way up there, so that's why I need to propagate. The plants that are going to be potted are sitting right there, and the plants that just need a change of water and fertilizer are right next to me. This is the fertilizer I use. I will link the website I get my products from below, but there's a measurement thing you have to do. You have to really be careful, because if you add too much fertilizer, you can actually burn your plant. So the first one is going to be this big boy. Look at those roots. I don't have a stand where this plant will actually sit. That's my biggest problem. It needs sunlight. So I need to put it in a place where you can reach adequate sunlight. But I don't have a stand, I don't have a table in my room. You know, I'm still figuring out decor. I didn't know it would take me this long to figure out decor, but it is. I always give the roots a rinse to get rid of any lingering dirt and stuff that might be on it from the previous water. Water replaced. It's really easy. This is a beautiful, beautiful monstera pinata. It has been treating me well. As long as I treat her well, as long as I give her my love and affection, she looks beautiful. This pinata used to sit in my bedroom, but I'm moving it to the kitchen because the plants that used to sit in the kitchen are being moved outside. So I need the kitchen to still, you know, have something. This is a baby pothos. It sits in my kitchen. It's growing slowly. This is the first leaf I started with, and these ones grew. Look at this bad boy. Look at this. 5 leaves, 5 beautiful leaves. Look at that root system. This one is still gonna live in my bedroom because I still need this beauty in my room. Like, look at this beautiful big plant. Look at it. We're on the floor. That means we're getting down and dirty. I need to pot this monstera, this big boy, and I'm going to be potting him along with this big boy as well. And this is the pot we're using. So I have this plastic straw stick thingy. I got it from Krispy Kreme when I was gonna get coffee one day. They had a balloon, so I took the balloon popped, but I kept this. So I am going to attach this to this using some twine from a package that I recently got. This is potting mix that I bought from the same website I got my fertilizer. I'll put the link below. Eggshell. I'm going to crush some up and add it halfway through. Apparently eggshell is good for your plants. I don't know what exactly it's good for. I've forgotten, but I heard it's good. Take some of this bad boy. I should have gloves to do this, but I don't have gloves. So I'm just going to use my hands. I filled up the pot halfway. There we go. I'm gonna put this in here as well. And we'll both face the same way. Now I'm going to stick this in the soil. Yeah. And then I'm going to use this twine to hold it together. My floor is going to be a mess after this, but I don't really mind. This is actually working. Of course it's going to work. I'm just worried that this is not long enough, that the stick is not long enough. This is so much harder than I thought. The balloon stick, we're calling it, was long enough, but it wasn't long enough for these ones. So these ones are kind of weighing the plant down. As you can see, there are 3 leaves and 1 is unfurling. It's weighing the plant down and it's kind of making it droopy, but it is a sight to behold. Like, look at this baby. Very, very worried about the way it looks. It's not looking as nice as I thought it would, but I think I'm going to get a cane and do this. Plant Boy uses a cane for his plants. I thought this would work. I thought this would be long enough, but it isn't. It's time for the third and final task, which is propagation. So I have already propagated the spinach. This bad boy, I don't know if you guys can see, was very, very long. Very, very long. This was attached to it, so I snipped it off at the bud. And it's not even standing well. It's so heavy because of all the leaves. I always have to prop it up against something. So I'm just gonna take this and put it here. This is a propagation from that plant, and I snipped a little bit of it off because it was getting very, very long and very leggy. This is what it means for a plant to be growing leggy. There's a lot of space between the leaves, and if I had allowed it to continue growing, the spaces would have continued growing bigger and bigger. So I'm gonna put water in this and put it outside, and it should grow roots like this one within a couple of weeks. For the basil, it's pretty simple. I even have to remove some of the flowers. The reason why you should remove the flowers is because if the plant starts concentrating on growing flowers, it's going to start growing terrible tasting leaves. So I'm going to propagate from two places. I'm going to remove this stem and I'm going to remove this stem. In a couple of weeks, this plant, the growth is going to skyrocket because once you cut leaves, once you propagate from a basil plant and similar other veggies such as the spinach, it grows wildly. I'm gonna cut off the bottom leaves and I'm going to keep it to make pasta tonight. This is what we're left with. So we have these two propagations. So I'm gonna fill this up with water and take it outside. I have added the pothos plants here outside. They're going to get maximum sun and I can't wait to see how they grow. The spinach propagation is right next to the big mama propagation, so it's sitting outside here. The monstera, as you can see, is leaning. It's quite heavy and I don't think this pole or this straw stick is good. So I'm gonna ask my mom to buy me a cane and use that to prop up the monstera because it does need to stand up tall, and there's this part here that's just like leaning over and causing it to fall over. The basil is going to be living here in my kitchen. I want to see how it fares in the kitchen because the last propagation I did was outside and it did very well. So I hope the sun that shines in the morning that comes here is good enough for my basil.
One eternity later.
Hello everybody, this is Deola a week and a half later. I decided to end this plant chores video with a proper ending to show you like what the final arrangement and the final, what happened in the end, because after I put my plants outside, I went back and I realized that, oh shit, pothos don't like direct sun, and outside here gets very, very direct sun, and also the monstera pinnatinata also doesn't like direct sun. But I ended up bringing them back inside, and I'm just gonna show you the new arrangement. Also, to break some sad news, my basil propagation failed. It completely died. I do not know what happened. It was rooting, and then I came back from Abuja yesterday and I went to check on it and it was dead. Like all the leaves had like dried up and crumpled up. It was just like, it was so sad. I was so sad. I was so absolutely so sad. But my spinach propagation is doing well. I'll show you guys that, and I'll show you guys some new growth that I have. So this is my baby, my beautiful baby. It recently pushed out a new leaf while I was away. that one right there. And then this pinata cutting has put out this big leaf right here. So this plant is doing very, very well. This is where I put the first pothos plant, and I ended up snipping off the last leaf because it legit turned black. I came home and I saw that it had 2 yellow leaves, so I removed that, and this is what is left. I watered it this morning, so it should be doing good. I'm really worried for my pothos because I don't know why I didn't do this research beforehand, but I found out after I potted the plants that pothos plants don't do well as if they were grown in water and then are transferred to soil. So there's a high chance that my pothos might die, which would make me so sad, but I know where I can get more from. I'm hoping it survives. I'm about to go into the kitchen/living room, and that's what the generator noise is really loud, so apologies. So we have the second pothos pot here. I think it's actually doing pretty well. As you can see, it's pushing out a new leaf there, and it gets sun from this window. Now I'm taking you to my Monstera pinata that I actually staked on a cane. As you can see with the twine, I staked it before I left for Abuja. I forgot to film an update that, oh yeah, I had actually switched over from the balloon stick to a proper cane. So now it is staked here. So far so good. I've not noticed anything. I put it here because I want to actually water it. The first couple of inches of soil are kind of dry, so I've watered it, and now it's sitting pretty in its spot. It gets sun from that window there. It's doing well so far, crossing my fingers that it continues to do well. Last but not the least, let's talk about these outside babies right here. The spinach propagation is going very, very well. It has already rooted. I need to change the water. The water is turning green. But as you can see, it has already rooted, so it's time for potting. It's going to be time for potting soon, and you can see that it's actually growing really well. It's pushing out new leaves. This spinach plant is fast growing. Like, it is amazing how fast it grows. We have my basil. My basil is desperately trying to flower, like desperately. I can see the flower buds like legit trying its best, but I'm gonna have to snip them. That is it. Those are plant chores, plant updates. If you like to see more of this kind of video, let me know and I will do more. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up because it tells YouTube and the algorithm that my video is awesome. And do not forget to be awesome. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.